We are back. Episode 122.
Episode 122 of the BSG podcast, brought to you by our friends at Moon Golf. And we have a special show for you tonight. We have a guest coming on that we're excited about. But before we get to that, we're going to run through what tonight's show is about. We're going to recap the Black Desert Championship results, which there's something very big that happened in that tournament I want to talk about. We have Kayla Jones joining us. We'll talk about her in a minute. And then we have our segment called 4 about what's coming up. And then, of course, the wonderful Drop Zone. So real quick, we're going to run down to the Black Desert Championship until Kayla joins us. Shout out to Moon Golf for sponsoring the show. Thankful for you guys.
I need to go back.
Let me recap it real quick. Black Desert. This is the only thing I really want to talk about. Matt McCarty won it. He won $1.35 million. But on Thursday, play got stopped, and our friend Wesley Bryan had hit his second shot into the green, had a 14-foot eagle putt, has to make it to make the cut. Play stopped, so he had to go home that night and just think about a 14-foot eagle putt.
Oh, gosh.
He shows up the next day. There's clips of him on straight to the putting green, just practicing putting.
All day.
Straight all day putting. He goes out to the hole, to his ball on the green, makes the 14-foot eagle putt to make the cut.
You know, he's a fantastic putter as it is.
But I wanted to talk about it because, like, if that was you, how much would you overthink that all night?
I'd blast it past it, trying to make sure I played the slope.
Yeah, definitely could not leave it short. Like, if it's, and what's interesting is he made the cut, had to think about it all night, and he ended up making $81,750. That putt was worth $81,000. I mean, not that putt, but it got him to their making money.
I mean, you can say that putt because if he doesn't make it, he's going home.
Yeah,
a free man.
Insane. I watched that, and it just showed him walking out there to make the putt, and I was like, I couldn't do it. Like a 14-foot.
Not at all. It would be so hard.
And then that's getting a lot of attention, but just to think that he went into that hole knowing he had to make eagle to make the cut, and to hit it to 14 feet is insane too.
Could you imagine? I feel like when we're playing, like you're planning, you're like, okay, if it gets down, I need to make a bird to make something happen.
Yeah.
Then you shank it. Yeah. Or duff it. It's never anything where you can just turn it on. You'll be like, okay, I need to make a par to survive.
Yeah.
And then you get close to the green, you miss it, so you're trying to chip, you chip, and then you're 30 feet.
Oh, gosh. What do you think for you, if you were in Wesley's situation, knowing you had to make eagle, do you think that second shot into the green would have been stressful? Or once you hit it to 14 feet, do you walk up thinking, oh, I did it? Or you're like, crap, now I've got 14 feet?
I think this is a dog mentality thing for a guy like Wesley.
Uh-huh.
I don't think I got it. I've missed several putts. I've missed several drives when needed.
Yeah.
I think as a competitor, like a real competitor like them, you're like, this is why I practice.
Yeah.
Because you got to think, for someone to get to where he is, where he's fighting to make the cut every single week and just get onto the events, He's like, this is what I do. Yeah. This is why I'm here.
And I think the percentage of a 14-foot putt for them, it's not super high, but it has to be pretty high. So I'm almost more impressed with the shot to 14 feet, like that second shot. Because you're going up to the tee box, hole one, knowing you got to make eagle. You hit a drive. Next shot is pretty much all or nothing. You've either got to put it on the green, make a putt, or you got to put it somewhere and make a chip.
Do you know how far his second shot was?
I don't. I didn't
I
see the stats on that. But just to be able to walk up, while you're looking for that, I'm just going to think, like, that next shot, standing over a second shot on a par 5, thinking, okay, I've got to put this in makeable territory. Which his short game's pretty good too. There's been several videos on his YouTube channel where he's had to chip in, he's chipped in. But he made the putt with his lab golf putter too, by the way. Shout out.
You know, they're hot with it.
Everybody, yeah. And a lot of guys on tour are getting them now. Ricky put one in the bag. If you haven't watched, you can go back and watch one of our former episodes. We had Sam, the basically one of the creators, one of the owners of Lab.
CEO
Sam
of Lab.
Hunt. Yep. You can go watch that. We talked all about the lab and the technology. Most viewed episode ever of the podcast, by the way. So go check that out.
For now.
For now, yeah.
There's one that might jump off.
Yeah, we're going to find out. And so our picks for that week, I had Bo Hosler. Our guy Zach picked our other guy, ZB. Bo finished tied for 11th at 15 under. ZB finished 66 at 2 under, which gave me a pretty good stroke lead there. Which with the LPGA, we'll talk about it in a minute. I kind of got a little more leads. But this week, they're going from Utah to Vegas. We're familiar with that drive and that trip, playing golf in both those states. Yep. This is the Shriners Children's Open in Las Vegas, Nevada. Last year's winner was the beloved Tom Kim. Everybody loves Tom Kim. Needs another win.
Back to back, right?
I think. But he needs a win because it may. I don't know what the ruling is about his military service, but it probably helps to win this tournament. I'd have to look that up and see. I'm going this week. My pick for this week, everybody, if you're listening, if you're making picks based off us, I wouldn't do it. But I'm going with Davis Thompson is my pick for this week.
I'm going back to back to back. Tom Kim.
Give him Tom Kim, ladies and gentlemen, the favorite. Everybody loves him. So be checking out the PGA Tour this week. That's what we've got. Going to jump to the LPGA real fast. Trying to get through this before our guest comes on. The LPGA, they were at the Buick LPGA in Shanghai. And the winner was your boy's pick, Ruan Yin, won the event. So it got me a win early in the season.
I didn't even realize. I forgot to look it up today when I was updating the spreadsheet.
Well, I'll let you know. You had Gabby Lopez. She was tied for 17th at 10 under. Ruan was first place at 25 under. So as of now, the Pick'ems update. I'm 62 under par. Zach is 27 under par.
Early lead.
Early. I've never had one.
Not have last year.
Yeah, I've never had one, so I'm loving it. I'm getting excited about it. This week, the ladies are at the BMW Ladies Championship. The winner last year was Minji Lee. And listen how crazy this is. She won first place. She won $330,000, a lot of money. But compared to the men winning $1.3 million on average of their events, it's so insane.
Eyeballs.
You're right. I wouldn't be surprised if the purses went up a little bit this year, just because I feel like LPGA got a lot of attention last year. With Nelly doing what she did. But my pick for the LPGA this year is I'm going Lydia Ko for this week.
Look, and I didn't even know she had won it when I made the pick.
You going Minji?
I picked Minji a while ago, yeah.
Minji Lee. So
we're my guys back-to-back champs.
I was about to say, my guy's riding that train this week. We'll see if it pays off for him. So those are our picks. Were you able to find anything on Wesley, or is it too hard to figure out?
I'm on there. It's and it has it about his putt, but I don't see the second shot.
I'm gonna look at PGA Tour. They posted some stuff about him. Side note about the Black Desert. If you listen to last week's episode, me and Zach are going to figure out how to have a bracket for best tournaments. Black Desert may be a sneaky first place. They revealed their trophy this week, and it is a sharp trophy.
I'm still trying to think of the ones I really like. The Black Desert looks great. I know the majors are cool, but that's the bracket. If you have a recommendation of a trophy that you like, you want it in the bracket, let us know.
Oh, yeah. We need to be able to enter it into the thing. Trying to see if anything says about his shot. I guess not. I was on his IG.
I'm on their Twitter, and it shows his putt.
So, I don't know. It had to be a good shot, though. We'll look into that and see. Just the putt was insane, though. So, that's our picks for this week for the PGA and the LPGA. Real quick, we'll talk about what's coming up for the boys. This weekend, in a few days, we are filming our first ever attempt at breaking 50. And how confident are you?
My goal for the first attempt is 57. 57.
That's realistic.
That's the top end. I think we can go lower, but I think worst case scenario is 57. My only concern as of right now is weather. for the
Oh, I
ball
didn't even
not
check
flying.
it. Is it not good?
No, I'm just talking temperature.
Oh, yeah, because it's been so cold the past few.
It's been so cold, and we've been out there with Wesley Bryan and Zach Blair playing in that altitude.
Oh, yeah. Just to be coming back now
we get brought back to Earth.
I'm pulling up the course info right now so I can tell everybody. The Pines Crossing, it is a par 72. We'll be playing. Oh, they have before the Reds. They have a blacks, so we're playing the most forward tee, right?
Right. The closest there is what we're playing.
Okay, that's only 4,447 yards.
Surely we can attack.
I think so. I'm trying to see if I can get. Oh, here we go. Here's a scorecard from that distance. From the blacks, we're gonna. Oh, let me see what the par four. So there's a par 3 that's 80. The first par 5 is only 359. From that tee box. Another par 5 is 343.
That means short game has to be on.
There's a par. Yep. So everything's like in the par 4s are short. What we know, and this is what Bryson said too, par 3s are going to be the toughest.
Let's try to get bird, survive with the par, and move on.
And that's what Bryson talked about. They are the toughest par 3s. The par 5s, it's like if you don't make an eagle, we don't stand a chance.
But I mean, if it's 359,
pars are what will kill us.
Yeah. And no matter what, if we realize we're not getting 50, we still have to have the scores.
True.
To show where we're at. So if it starts going downhill, we'll still battle.
Yeah. So we're going to finish the video no matter what, because we have to post a score. And this is obviously going to be an ongoing series with some good guests. So we're doing that this weekend. Another thing coming up, we're filming an episode tomorrow, but it'll come out next week. Maybe the best golfer we've had on the show. Would you say possibly
tomorrow?
Yeah, the one we're doing tomorrow that will come out next week.
Absolutely.
And we've had, and y'all, if y'all been with us, y'all seen some guests we've had on, some SEC golfers and all this. So this may be the best guest we've ever had on. So we're excited about it. We got going with there. Anything you want to say on him before I hit that drop zone music? We talk about it before she joins us.
No,
we're gonna hit him.
He's one of them.
He's a dog. So
DOG.
Well, that one's gonna be wet. Welcome to the drop zone.
All right, today's drop zone brought to you for now. And unless somebody else wants to come on here and hop on and be a sponsor, let us know. But everything's brought to you by Moon Golf. What's the funniest thing you've seen or experienced on a golf course?
Oh, funniest.
Right off the top of my head, one of them is when we tried to talk Mitchell out of that 3-wood and he wouldn't listen.
That's probably got to be the top.
Yeah.
Look, if you Mitch, don't do it. Don't do it, Mitch.
Yeah.
If you do it, we're gonna hit you.
And then he does it. We just drill him. Another one, that clip of Mitchell topping that. It was like early. Our first video we ever filmed. He topped that drive and slammed his club and all that stuff like that. I love.
Oh, like when we were doing the screen shakes.
Yeah. For me, okay. Another funny one. This was also really cool, but. We were golfing at Callaway, and my wife was there with us, and I made probably like a 60-footer. It was giant. I made a big putt in front of my wife, and then Zach turns around and says, "This one's for you, Katie." It makes one of like equal or longer distance.
Oh, yeah. It went downhill, left to right.
Not different holes. This was like I putted and made it. He putted and made it. And it was just insane.
Because Mitch was like, let me get that out of the hole for you, because y'all putted for par.
Yeah.
And we putted for bird and won the hole with that long putt.
Yeah, and it's on video. You can go watch it go down, but it was crazy. Just the odds of that even happening on the same hole.
And you just hear Brady in the back. He's like, oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
So those are some of my funnest and funniest moments. There's been a lot of fun moments, though.
I wish we had on video where Jeremy said he was at Roanoke and he swung off his feet.
Oh, and fell in front of the people?
Yeah, that would be one to live with.
We
have ones that haven't made the clip. Like when we started at Bull Creek that day, and I just whiffed.
Yeah.
The first drive, and I immediately swung again.
And one of the funnest moments was the Panama City trip, that round of golf with me, you, and Mitchell playing for the stuff. So let us know, though, if you have any moments on your trip that are just funny or things you've seen on the golf course. We've never seen any of those moments like where cars come right on the course or anything like that.
I wish. That'd
be insane to see that on the course. But nothing like that. But that's Drop Zone this week. Let us know what you think in the comments. And we're going to jump into our interview with Kayla. Well, everybody, this is Kayla. Excited to have Kayla on. Recently, we discovered you through just social media, which the stuff you're doing is really cool. And you're a lot closer to us. We're about an hour south of Atlanta, so we're close to Auburn.
Are y'all in Georgia or in Alabama?
Yeah, so Zach is in LaGrange, which is right below Peachtree City and stuff. And then I'm right on the Alabama-Georgia line, so I'm in Alabama.
Where do you play?
Closer to Auburn. We play at the Fields in LaGrange. We do Callaway Gardens, and we do the Robert Trent Jones in Auburn. And then we have a friend who's the assistant, I think, pro at Noonan Country Club, Scott Porter. So we'll go up there and play sometimes at Noonan.
I haven't made it over to the Fields, but I do want to play there because I hear really good things about it.
You would love it. I promise you. Like, it's becoming a whole thing. Like Sweetens Cove just stopped down here and did an event. And cool story real quick, we'll pump the fields up. Ashley, his dad's actually the one that designed the course. And then years later, Ashley bought the course. So he now owns the course that his dad designed and created. And it's a cool story. This is Zach. So Zach, Kayla.
Hey, Kayla. Sorry, I got a 15-month-old and she wouldn't stop crying.
Poor thing.
So everybody, this is Kayla. Real quick, we'll jump into it. Kayla played golf at Florida State. Seminoles graduated in 2018, correct? And now she is at Bobby Jones Golf Course in Atlanta. She's a competitor, but she's also in the golf creator content world. She's a rowback athlete. She just recently did a video with probably the funniest people in golf right now, St. Andres. Let's just start there. How did you keep a serious face and compete and playing with guys like this? Is hilarious with them.
I don't keep a serious face, honestly. I'm like laughing the entire time. Honestly, it's kind of intimidating, like already just to play with like cameras around and stuff because we did a YouTube match, but then you're playing like with people that just have so much personality and are always cracking jokes, and I'm like not anywhere near as witty as them. So like I was nervous about things other than the match, which definitely affected how I played the match.
Yeah. And then you have Peter Finch jumping in, who is like, when I first got into golf, it was like Rick Shields, Peter Finch, and then me and my golf for the people I watched. So just being there with him, that was cool to see. I do want to, before I go further, I got to let people know, like, you're just not a content person. She, when she played 4 years, she won the 2014 Texas A&M Memorial, correct? Mm-hmm. Memorial. Also 2 national championship appearances. And then she went on to play several years of professional golf, including on the LPGA Epson Tour. So she's not, a lot of people see girls and they're like, oh, they're just trying to get likes and views on content creators. Kayla can play golf. She can embarrass all of us. So I want people to understand that before we go forward and talk about your content and stuff, that you're a real golfer.
Well, thank you.
And so I do want to know, what's it like transitioning to someone that's so competitive and you play competitive golf to now you're still being competitive, but you're also trying to create content at the same time? Like, how do you balance the two? Are you still trying to turn off the competition? Like, let me be creative and funny, or is it like, I'm still be me kind of
funny enough, I feel like it was a pretty natural progression for me. There was a point like in my competitive career that I just like completely lost the love for the game. I was not having fun at all. And part of that, I think, was like I was leaving my whole self and my personality and everything at home and just trying to be this like singular focus, just fierce competitor. Like all I was thinking about was golf, like thinking about, what I was eating, when I was working out, what was going on with my mental game. And it just became like so much strain that I started playing worse and worse. So like sliding over to like letting loose a little bit and going back to having fun on the golf course was actually like the solution to that for me.
what made you want to kind of go that path and like kind of not be done competing in tournaments and stuff, but think maybe of chasing after it on content and whatnot?
I guess, well, truth be told, like financially, it was really hard. And like I said, hey,
this is my daughter Ev. She's coming to hang out, I guess.
We're a family-friendly
I
channel.
love this.
Family-friendly
I don't have
channel.
any little ones, but this is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Truth be told, it was a little bit stressful financially on me, and it's a bit of a lonely world out there. And on top of that, I was really struggling with my game. There was, just a lot of things that were weighing down on me heavily. So I kind of was thinking like, okay, I need to go about this a little bit differently to see if there's still something there, to see if I still want to chase it in any way. And it turned out like the more things that I like added to my life, just the happier I got. I started playing better, but I also didn't feel this need to like fulfill like this idea of success that I had in my head. I kind of felt like more well-rounded as a person. So that definitely helped a lot.
What do you think is harder to you, trying to compete and win a tournament or trying to create content? I feel like the content this is about to be the start of year 4. In January will be the start of year 4. And there's been times where it feels like making so much progress and then there's times it's like, why are we still doing this? But I don't know.
You just get stuck in mud and it's like, okay, just keep recording. Something will change. Right. Something will happen.
I feel like the tournament play is easier because the content is so like subjective to what other people think or like what the algorithm's doing. Like you don't have control over so many things, which on the golf course you kind of don't, but it's just very like clear cut, like this is the score you got. Whereas content creation there's a lot more that goes into it. And I don't think people realize how hard it is in that way.
I think this is our 122nd episode. And in the last 6 months, I think we've made a turn as far as like actually getting guests on. Like for the first 3 years, it was just whoever would respond. And now we kind of have not a big following, but we can reach out to people like you. We've had some other college golfers on, and people are actually responded now. And it's like, oh, okay, we might be doing the right thing now.
I have questions for y'all. So tell me like how you got started and what's the significance behind the Be Still and how y'all know each other. Just hit me with all of it.
Yeah, we grew up going to the same church together, me and his brothers, and then kind of high school and college, whatever, we split ways. And then after probably about 5 years ago, he owns a print shop, him and his brother do. He doesn't work there, he just helps own it. And so I went to work in there with his brother, and I golfed, and his brother and them, they did not golf. And then so one day we were just sitting there, and I was like watching the Masters on the TV, and they're like, why are you watching? This is so boring. I was like, no, golf is fun. And so I got them into golf, and then Zach got into golf. And then me and my youngest son went and filmed a video golfing. And I was like, well, I'm just going to create content and make it. And so then we just called it Be Still Golf because it's kind of like an important phrase in my family biblically. And all this stuff. So, and then all of a sudden I was like, well, if I'm going to golf, I should just ask my friends to do it with me. And so Zach was like, yeah, let's do it. And then from there, it's just kind of been like nonstop. Just, we already enjoy it. So why not make content from it so we can watch it and then possibly, make it a career.
Now we went from filming on like an iPhone 7 to like we have a full body DSLR. We've got real podcast equipment, wireless mics. It's been an investment along the way. So now, like, if we could just find a real cameraman,
that's the goal.
Do it for free, or someone else pay him. That would be the life.
But it's just one of those things. A lot of people are like, "Why are y'all still doing that?" And we're like, "Well, we're gonna golf anyways together. We might as well film it because." We've already seen perks from it already. We've already people sent us stuff and we've worked with people and it's been worth it. So it's not going to hurt us not to keep filming.
The golf communities.
And I love this
part. Go ahead, sorry.
Oh, I was just going to say, I love this part of it, like for the podcast.
Oh yeah.
I love meeting and interviewing people who know so much more. I've only been golfing, I guess 5 years now or 4 years. So I don't know anything. I'm still learning every time I get on the course. So to talk to real golfers, it's
that's awesome.
It's exciting.
The golf community, I was going to say, is just so small. So like the fact that y'all are getting plugged in, I mean, even if it is still in the early stages, like don't give up. I'm excited about what you guys are doing. And I meant to tell you this. I didn't want to give too much away because I thought this might be a good little podcast nugget, but I have Be Still tattooed on my wrist. So when I reached out, I was like,
"Oh, you're lying!
Really?
Is that a wave?
Yeah.
Is that a wave with it? Okay, that's wild because I have a wave tattooed right here on my arm. It's real small. It's right here actually, and
the arm's real small.
Yeah, you're crazy. So this is side. I graduated college, biblical studies and preaching. So we planted a church called Be Still Church, and the church hadn't been planted yet. Just the name Be Still was in my head. So I ended up opening a print shop too called Be Still Creative, and then from there it was like Be Still Golf, and then Be Still Church. But I have the wave tattooed on me, and I have Be Still everywhere in my house. It's just kind of a phrase my family and I live by. So that's insane. It is.
That just means you're a real fan of the podcast.
Huge fan
to have that
before
you come on.
Kayla's a real
brought
fan.
us together here.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, that's sick. But no, we love watching it. And so how did you recently you just joined up with Robank, right?
Yeah, I've been with them for like a couple of years. Yeah, they're great. Fantastic.
So how did that go about? Was that like early into your content creation, or like were they like you saw your stuff and was like, hey, let's do some stuff together?
So they reached out like a few years ago. I had always like shared my life online, but not really like taking it seriously or anything. They reached out a couple of years ago and wanted to sponsor me like as a golfer when they started producing women's apparel. And they were just like really getting started. They didn't have a lot of women's stuff, but I was like, honestly, my following is a lot of men that play golf. So like this works out perfectly. And then even like throughout this transition of like, okay, hey, I'm going to just like post more content. I'm playing less tournaments. I'm going to be a golf pro and work at a golf course. And they've been supportive about the whole thing. So it's kind of been cool that they've like stuck around, just for all the different phases of Kayla. Obviously still in the golf world. It looks a little bit different now.
That is. I think the content world is where it's at right now. I enjoy watching it more than tour stuff, and you can kind of get that feeling with the tour doing that recently with the content creators at East Lake that there's kind of a shift. Yeah. So I think it's only going to keep growing. That's why me and Zach talked about it. We're like, let's just keep doing it because I feel like it's just going to keep getting bigger and bigger, like the golf content world. So we love it. We love watching your stuff and seeing what you do too.
Now it feels easy to record. I feel like now we have it down to a science. You get
it used to be like scary. People fall
on your mic.
You're like, oh, people are watching us with camera. This is so weird. Now it's just kind of like, oh, I don't care. Do you go out there by yourself, or do you have somebody film you?
I'm out there by myself a lot. I just recently bought a tripod. I don't know how I survived for so long. I would like park my golf cart in places that I shouldn't be parking it and just like have my phone propped up on there. I was like, I really should stop doing this. So I got a tripod to bring me around. I do have like a camera, but I use it more for like photography and stuff. So that's more for like taking pictures of other people. Mm-hmm. Like I don't really have anybody to film or take pictures of me.
What do you think has been? Do you focus more on short form content, right? Like TikToks, Instagram Reels, and stuff like that. How do you get your inspiration for that? Do you kind of just look and see what's happening, was exciting, or do you just kind of say, I'm gonna go, document me playing a hole, hitting a shot, whatnot?
It fits so naturally into my day sometimes where like just things will happen that are just crazy. Like my most recent thing that I posted was our golf course flooded. I don't know if you guys saw that, but it was just insane. And I posted like a little like day in my life of just like everything that went wrong out on the golf course. When I'm like practicing at night, like my fiance will come and hit balls and we'll like work on his swing. So it just kind of pops up. Like, I don't know that I really pull the inspiration from anywhere. I do consume a lot of content, which I should pretty like chill out about that. But yeah, it's just like happens to be whatever I'm into that day, I guess.
Does it
Tell
get
your
competitive?
fiance we do think he has a great first name. We're fans of it.
Does it get competitive between y'all when
No.
y'all golf?
He so he started playing like a few years ago, really when we met. And he was not any good. So it's more of a coach player
Is he
relationship
getting
than a competitive one for sure. He
is
is
he
getting
getting
better.
better though?
He's had
With you being the
so
coach?
much improvement. Like the progress is unreal. So now like he can hang in there. But normally like if we are doing anything competitive, he makes sure that I'm on his team. Like we'll do scrambles against other people and stuff. So that's he lucks out from it.
Mm-hmm. Love it.
You'll have to call my wife after this and say, "Look, just start playing golf with him. You'll love it."
Definitely. It's a good way to be outside, especially with
What
women. I tell them all the time. I'm like, it's nice. Like it's not it's super strenuous. You can, hang out outdoors and just kind of.
Oh yeah, my wife, she loves it. She loves for me to go by the store, and she likes to get a bunch of candy and drink like a thirst buster. So it's just a gas station drink, and she likes to ride in the cart and just watch. Which I'm like, yo, if you're out here, that's
I
fine with
love
me,
that.
and so I'm cool with it. But hey, I want to ask, since you have kind of went down the LPGA and the Epson, we over the last year we have really started. Zach and I have been getting more into the LPGA and trying to keep up with it, and I love listening to the No Laying Up podcast. And Big Randy, he's a big guy for the LPGA. It's kind of like got me excited to watch it. Do you like the path that's available right now, I guess, for women to get to that level, or is it kind of hard to go from college to pro?
It's pretty difficult. It is. I mean, you have to have the financial means to go for it first and foremost, which I don't necessarily think is fair. So that's the biggest struggle. Like right out of college, I was actually going to go to grad school and just figure out kind of what I wanted to do with my life, and then I ended up signing up for Q school, which the entry fee for first stage is like $2,500, and then you're out there for.
Right.
I was out there for like 2 weeks, so anywhere between like 2 weeks and 5 days. So you're paying for your hotel. You flew there. You got a rental car. You know, practice rounds, all that stuff. So yeah,
That's a
it's a
lot.
little bit insane. I wish I should have a spreadsheet somewhere where it totals up everything that I spent on it, and that's just for the first stage. So you do that 2 more times after that. So it is difficult. Whether or not they, get the best players, I feel like that is pretty fair. The Epson Tour and the LPGA Tour, I think what people don't realize is they are just so close in competition. Like there's a lot of really, really good players out on the Epson Tour that just need like one big break. And people bounce back and forth. Sometimes people are on the LPGA Tour and then they're back on the Epson for a couple of years, and then they, have dual status or whatever it is. So it's a little bit of a difficult road.
We interviewed Hannah Gregg, who's been on the Epson Tour, and she's battling. She posts a lot of updates too, and it's like it has to be so tough to look at like baseball and football for the men, where there are like minor leagues and practice squads where you're getting paid while you're learning.
There's contracts you get to help chase the dream.
And Hannah's one of the most transparent about it. She's done a great job of like sharing it, which I think can only help the golf world and the LPGA Tour and then all those tours, because you if you don't play well, you're not making money. And so I don't know of many jobs in the world where you could show up and do your best, work your hardest, and go home and not get paid. So it's definitely a difficult thing to do.
So, do you think you're ever chasing that again, or do you kind of give it a timeline and you completed that and now you're like different phase of life?
I could see myself doing it again. I'm just having like way too much fun doing what I'm doing right now. I just absolutely love it. But I still have the goal. I haven't played in an LPGA event, and as far as my life goals, everything in golf I've accomplished thus far. Besides that, playing in an LPGA event, so I still got to get it done. Funny enough, I'm going through the PGA program to get my Class A, and there are ways that you can qualify for the KPMG through that. So that might be the way that I go about it. I don't know.
I would love to see, as your content grows, George Bryan has gotten into a few events because of, content. I'd love to see them do that for the women a few times too. Some of these sponsorships and
definitely.
get them in there. That'd be sick. I like asking this mainly to golfers that are better than us and that have played at higher levels of golf. Is there anything in the game of golf right now that you're not a fan of? And it can be rules, the way stuff's played, tours, anything like that? Or is there anything you're like, I don't like this about the game of golf? How inviting it is, or
that's always like that. One. I feel like it's come such a long way. I was literally just talking to somebody about the other day. I'm like, remember when we weren't allowed to wear hoodies? We were both wearing hoodies on the golf course. I was like, remember the great hoodie debate?
Zach got in trouble. Zach went to a driving range wearing a t-shirt, and they came out there and said, you can't be here.
Ooh. I couldn't be there without a polo.
I said, wild right there. It wasn't private.
I'm not even playing. Yeah. I'm just practicing. Nope.
Yeah.
Got to wear a polo. I was like,
to me, that's insane how they're that stickler for that. I don't
that
like
kind
that
of stuff is not my jam. Because I always, I've played golf my whole life, and I've really like trained hard for it. And then I feel like the idea that you have to wear khakis and a belt and a polo is just so silly. I'm like, this is a sport. You're doing something athletic. You should wear whatever is comfortable and helps you perform. So that's definitely one of those things. True. I don't know. Honestly, I like a lot of things that are happening in the golf space right now. I feel like, there's so many different ways to play and get involved, whether with the rise of like Top Golf, and then there's like TGL is coming up, and all these like simulator spots that are popping up. There's just like, there's a lot of really cool stuff going on. So I've been noticing that because they've kind of solved a few of my pet peeves about golf.
Yeah.
The simulators popping up are now one of my must-haves for our next house. I have to be able to build a barn with a simulator in it, because every day when I get off work, I'm like, oh, I would love to go hit for an hour. Now I got to go get the baby. Or like when she goes to bed at 8, I could swing if I just had a simulator. I could stay dialed in instead of once a month.
I know, that's the
hit the range right before we play.
What's in the bag, Kayla? What do you have going on? You're a Titleist athlete, correct?
I'm Titleist. I just signed on for the second year with them, so that was a really cool full circle moment for me, actually, because I feel like I was chasing down Titleist when I was playing full time, and I really, really wanted to be on staff with them, and I just couldn't get it. And then, of course, when I take a chill pill on my schedule and start getting in the PGA program and stuff and meet more people, I finally met the right people, and now I'm on staff with Titleist. But I just put the GT driver in my bag, and that thing is sick. I've got, oh my gosh, what am I even hitting? T200s? I think, yeah. I got a Scotty Cameron putter, which I absolutely love. I play a blade
or a mallet.
Big blade girl through and through. I've always had blade putters, and I just love them. And then I've got the Vokey wedges, which I didn't understand the Vokey hype before this. I never touched a Vokey wedge in my life, and just played like whatever came with my set. And then I hit a Vokey wedge, and I was like, wait, I understand. This makes sense.
And you got hooked with them. I've got the SM8s, and this is my first time playing them, and I'm like, I really like these. But everybody's talking about the new ones, like the 9s and the 10s. Everybody's saying they're a lot heavier than, and I don't know, I haven't touched them. So they're saying that's a big complaint for some people, but I got to try it and see. So you're Titleist all the way through.
Through the bag.
Pro V1?
I play the X.
Golf ball?
Mm-hmm.
The X? Cool.
I think everybody we talk to plays the X. We talked to a Mizuno guy last week.
Yeah, last week. He's the first one that ain't been Titleist. But he did play a Pro V1 golf ball, though, didn't he?
Yeah. Pro V1 X.
Yep. We're on to something. I'm learning something. All these good golfers. I'm figuring something out.
Waiting on Titleist to call us.
I'll put in a good
That's what I need.
Oh, we love it. Hey, we want to.
A few brands that's not really heavy in the creator space.
Titleist?
That is true. Titleist. I mean, they had no lay. I don't know if they have NLU now or if NLU just went to Callaway, But they were with them, or maybe they're with them now. But there's not a lot of content
Right.
creators they're
They've
with right
got
now.
the more traditional route, I feel like, especially with like the performance and like what they've got going on tour. But I've been seeing a lot of brands go towards the creator route, and I think it's really cool. Like I've noticed Bridgestone's been doing that lately. I guess the St. Andre guys were with them. Mizuno, I've noticed that. So
yeah,
that is really cool for that to be.
That is. I love seeing it.
If it's purely off talent, we'll never make it.
That is so true. We got to get some lessons knocked out. Hey, we do want, so this weekend, though, we're hopping on the Bryson DeChambeau train, and we're attempting this whole break 50 situation that's going on. And so we're doing it with a buddy of ours that's a pretty good golfer. And then we've got some of these former guests we have lined up. So whenever you have some downtime, we'd come up to Atlanta or anywhere around there. We'd love to attempt it with you.
Yeah,
somebody really
please
good.
do. I'm going to have you all out at Bobby Jones. That'd be awesome.
That would be. Do they allow you to film at Bobby Jones? Because I'm not trying to get in trouble.
Yeah, you're good. I got you.
Okay.
I mean, I wouldn't allow everybody, but
you're the boss.
Yeah, you guys are cool.
So we're good with it.
Yeah, well, we'd love to try it with you because it's from the most forward tees of what Bryson's doing. So we're going to attempt it. And we know that Zach and I can't do it alone, so we're trying to get some really good partners. And so you're the one we need, Kayla. Awesome. We'll make sure we follow up then whenever you have some downtime, because usually Zach and we can get away on some days and figure it out. But I think that'd be sick to come up there and try to knock it out. We're not Peter Finch and St. Andre, so don't put that pressure on us.
Peter's good, man.
But we'll try our best.
We are bad, but we are fun.
Yeah, Peter's good. Is there anything going on or upcoming for you that you're working on, or any projects that are about to come out, or anybody else you're filming with that maybe you can't say on the pod?
Honestly, I just have nothing going on right now. The St. Andre guys, they pop up here every now and again whenever they get an idea for a video. So I'm sure
they are so funny to me. And it's everything, like when you're on the golf course and you think of something, you share a joke with your buddies, and then they're on film with it. You're like,
I didn't think other people thought like that. And
I didn't think people were as bad as us or had the same ideas. The Second Shot Pro, that's my favorite one.
They're so good.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I just want to get connected. So like Roback has a really good, I guess, connection with all the people that are, sponsored by them right now. So I want to get connected with everybody. There's nobody like in Atlanta, but I might have to travel a little bit, but I think it'd be fun to go, hang out with the Brian or something.
I bet you could get up to South Carolina to Salina Golf Club with the Bryan Bros.
That's something that I'm going to work on. It's not in the works yet, but hopefully by the next time we talk, I've figured it out. So I got to hit them up.
We went and
you
played.
Could probably have Busta Jack come. They'll travel anywhere.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So they have a full camera crew. We went and played in their first creator tournament. I met them and some other guys, and they're as nice as can be. It's wild to see how far they've come already. And
their new cameraman, he's a local guy from the same town we're from, which is wild. Yeah. That's how small the golf community is. But he filmed the whole travel or the around the globe series with them. But he's with them. But yeah, we went to Bryan Bros thing last year, their little tournament they did, and got to meet them, and they were probably some of the coolest guys we've met in this. Because it's like one of those like don't meet your heroes kind of situation. You're like, please don't be rude. But they're so nice, and you're like, how are you? Yeah,
George was fantastic.
Yeah, now Wesley
was business.
Yeah, you can tell Wesley's
he's business.
He's a PGA Tour. He's big time. He knows he's good, and George is like so friendly. And you're like, this is everything I wanted it to be. Yeah. So we'll get together, though. We'd love to come up there and attempt to break 50, and we'll apologize beforehand how frustrating it may be when you're like, oh, these guys are trash. But
that'll be so much fun. And Bobby Jones is the perfect place to do it, honestly. It'll be great from the forward tees.
We're down. We're
ready.
Yeah. So we appreciate you coming on, too, and hopefully this was fun. We try to make it not like people are miserable being on here, so hopefully you enjoyed it. And we'd love to kind of have some recurring guests, like every few months, like update your life and stuff you got going on and talk more. I'd love to have a segment where we talk a whole lot about LPGA and kind of the situation in the game right now. So
I'm ready to talk anything.
We'd love to do that.
I'd be happy to come back on.
Awesome. Perfect. Well, we
Thank
appreciate you so much, Kayla.
It was so nice to meet you.
No, nice to meet you. Thanks for coming on.
Congratulations on the engagement, and we'll be at the wedding. Just send us the invite in the mail. We'll be there. We're good dancers. We're ready to party.
Bye. It was
awesome.
Good to see you.
Bye, Kayla.